Morning traders, and welcome to Price Action GPS. I'm the Market Surfer, here with your morning report for July 17th, 2023. Real quick, we'll go over earnings. Today is Equity Lifestyle Properties earnings, and they are a Sam Zell company. All they do is basically real estate. So Equity Life Properties, Inc. has made a strong commitment to acquire additional investment-grade manufactured housing communities and RV resorts, and is particularly well positioned to do so. Viewed by many in the industry as the seller's buyer of choice, our portfolio has established a strong awareness of Equity Lifestyle Properties as a premier brand. And we have a reputation for closing the deal. We have access to capital at highly competitive rates and have the financial sophisticated and willingness to structure a transaction to address a seller's unique needs. All cash transactions. So anyway, let's see. They own all the RV parks and stuff like that, and housing developments or trailer parks, however we want to put it. This is their business model. Let's see how this holds up. Today's their earnings. Let's see how, this sector of the real estate is doing. So there are the earnings today. Tomorrow is chock full of fun. So a few banks, JB Hunt, which delivers for, Home Depot, Interactive Brokers, The Market, Lockheed Martin, Morgan Stanley. There's a lot here. Prologis, which is, I don't have the chart up. I'll pull it up when I'm on the charts. Western Alliance Bancorp. So then Wednesday is Netflix. We'll go over that on Wednesday morning. So now we'll go into the charts. I have to remember Prologis. So right off the belt, here we are with Bitcoin. Still going sideways. I expect to reach up and top that 32,000. And I'd expect a major sell-off around that. It doesn't have to happen at one time, but once we hit that, I think we start rolling over to the downside. Let's see where that support is. Now I'm going to go to Monero because a lot of people are talking about Monero as cash. And I would agree that Monero is more like cash than any other. The same thing, if Bitcoin gets a rally to take that out, I'd say this may run to 180 or even take that top out at 187. But I've been watching Monero. And, same thing as Bitcoin. We're in that little struggle of that finish, and then we can go up. So if this doesn't have to stop there, doesn't have to sell off there, it can continue to go up. Because if I look at this on a weekly, we have two tops. This didn't break and go below there, so that held water there. So this still holds, and we could easily rise up to there. I don't know if that happens right off the bat. I still think we're stuck in between here just because of economics and the strength of the dollar. The bottom line is the dollar still rules the roost. As it loses its power, a lot of things will diverge in the market. But for right now, it's still, as the dollar gets weaker, these instruments will go up because they're still dollar denominated. I understand a lot of people in the community will try to say there's value. I understand that. But when you're talking about economics and crowd thinking and group think, that doesn't apply. And that's why the markets are so manipulated, because group think is there. And as long as they convince the people with the smart money, I wouldn't call it smart money, the people with the most money, if they guide them down, with the cones and the flashlights and say, go this way, then that's where they're going to put their money. Because they're scared. So the dollar is ruling the roost, even with Monero. Go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's chart just looks good. I still think we're having a sell-off there, whether it goes below here or not, but that 20,000 is significant. If we sell off from where we are down to here and hold, we can go up, or we can just slowly drip down to the 14,000. But once again, that will be determined by our economic outlook from now to October. These earnings coming out this week should make a significant difference. The dollar has already sold off to a serious level of support. This could be the bottom, where it can go sideways and drop down here to 97. But when this is done, I expect the dollar to really rally. I expect the dollar to take off to 115. The 200 period moving average is here on the weekly, and so is the October 13th. So if we have a Friday the 13th in October and we get a bottom there, maybe that's when they cut the rates, and then we start seeing daylight to up here. That could take us to 2025, and then from there we crash to 2030. Who knows? Let's just take it week by week. But the dollar index would suggest we are at a point where we could turn around, but this may pull it a little further down. So honestly, I think we're in choppy waters until October, until something happens, the end of the summer, whatever, excuse me, whatever determination they want for next spring. Because it seems like with interest rates continuing to go higher, we have lots of room to cut rates, which would spark, well, I wouldn't say spending, but at least spark investing. Because it'll be cheaper money. It'll make the machine go. Right here is the tethers, still going up. Pound dollar is an interesting one because remember, they had Brexit, so they're not in technically the European Union. They don't use the euro anyway. They use the pound. And if you listen to Jeff Snyder, the euro dollar is nothing more than everything that's not dollars. So is that the trash can? Is the euro dollar what's going to fail? So if that is it, and the British banks are pretty much the oldest bank. I wouldn't say British. I'd say the City of London. Let me specify that. The City of London has some of the oldest banks, and the Bank of England, them and the dollar will probably be the two strongest currencies. Let's see which one prevails. But this war in Ukraine seems to be the destabilization of Europe, as the No Agenda listeners would know. At least that's the opinion of the people that we speak of and listen to. So with that being said, there's a lot going on, and the euro would probably be the punching bag for the economic market. I doubt the British pound and the dollar will take it. I think the euro will be it, which will only destabilize Europe even more. So that they kind of go hand in hand. So the British pound, although just like we are right at a level of resistance, and the dollar is at a level of support. So I expect this to turn around and go down, and the dollar turn around and go up. Here we are with the banks. Still sideways. Nothing much. Still sideways. They could do this. It could pop back up, but we have serious resistance above us. The move, the ICE, which is all the way down to 112 right now. So apparently they believe the banks are fine. 2-year, looks like that's going to roll over, but the 2-year went up and hit its 5% mark that we spoke of. And we could probably fail down to about the 4.26. But it hasn't rolled over yet. It just looks like it's ready to. Here we are at the T-bond futures. I still expect this to get down here. 116. SDS, which is the inverse of the S&P 500. This is the ultra short. I bought some here. I sold it off at 54. And interested in buying more now to ride this probably back up to here. Just what the chart looks like. I'm not sure. Economic and how this will play out. Looks like we're going to get a rebound, but if we look at this looks like we're probably good to about 61, if not all the way up to 85. Apollo finally topping out. He reached the old highs, so their earnings coming up. I expect them, whether their earnings are good or not, I expect their outlook to be bad because they own a lot of bad debt. Palantir, price correction. Let's get down to $10, and I'd pick more up. Small cap stock, maybe the momentum has died on that. Russell 2000, same thing. I think we're going to wait for these earnings for the next few days. Home Depot, that depends on the housing market. Starbucks, I still expect to fail. I would put my stop right there, guys. If you're in this at 110, I would put my stop right under this. Let's say 185, because that could just roll over right there. I don't know if we're getting up to here, but even if we are going higher, we're going to at least pull below that down to probably here and then try to go back up. Warner Brothers Discovery, let it find the bottom. Generac, same thing. This is finishing, may find some support or may continue to fail down to the 75. Hanesbrand, I guess we wait for earnings. We're in a range where we could find support, but that looked like it sold off there, and we have to wait for some support. Spotify, I'm probably going to close that gap, but now's the time to start looking at the options and see how that would play out. We're going to sputter around here, but I'm pretty sure we're going to go up and take that out. We could probably got another $10 run to the upside. Teladoc, not that this one really matters. So that's it, everybody. I would like to thank everyone that tunes in. If you're watching this on No Agenda Tube, thank you. You can donate there. You could support us. Boostagram. We have an Albie wallet there. You can always donate to No Agenda Tube. If you're watching this on YouTube or any other form of media, give us a thumbs up, a sharing, a comment. Most importantly, if you're watching this on anything, you should be watching on a modern podcast app or No Agenda Tube. That way you can boost, you can interact with us. Let us know how we're doing. Once again, thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe and effective. Later.